Top 5 WWE wrestlers in the world. WWE has been around for almost 60 years at this point. It started as the Capital Wrestling Corporation, but reformed as the Worldwide Wrestling Federation after splitting from the NWA in 1963. It's undergone several name changes since, but for the purpose of this article, we will refer to it simply as WWE. Number 5. John Cena was the first person to point at the WrestleMania sign. The whole pointing at the sign trope is so ingrained in WWE's culture that seems a decades-old tradition at this point. What many may not realize is that it's relatively new. In researching for this piece, we've gathered that the promotion first began hanging the iconic WrestleMania sign at the events leading up to the show of shows around WrestleMania XX, back in 2004. It wasn't until 4 years later that the whole pointing at the thing really started. In 2008, following a shocking and, let's be honest, nearly miraculously quick comeback from injury, John Cena won that year's Royal Rumble. It was then that he hit the turnbuckles and pointed at the WrestleMania sign, indicating, yep, John Cena's going to WrestleMania. So, yeah, it feels like the whole pointing at the sign trope is something they've been doing forever. However, the next time someone does that and your friend asks, when did they start doing that? You can tell them. Now for something completely different. Number 4. Rey Mysterio was not the very first masked WWE Champion. First things first. Rey Mysterio was actually WWE Champion at one point, for all of you about to nitpick. Yes, he's most famous for holding the World Heavyweight Championship. However, in 2011, following CM Punk's defeat of John Cena and that year's Money in the Bank PPV, where Punk left the company with the title, Mysterio won a tournament to be crowned the new champion. However, he's not the first masked wrestler to hold that title, although the other one held it barely longer than Rey did. At King of the Ring 1998, then champion Stone Cold Steve Austin defended his title against Kane. If that PPV sounds familiar, it's because it was the same show where Undertaker and Mankind had their infamous Hell in a Cell match. Number 3. Stone Cold Steve Austin has never defended the WWE Championship at WrestleMania. When it comes to who the biggest stars in WWE history are, there's no doubt that Stone Cold Steve Austin sits near the top. There's an argument to be made that he was the biggest draw ever, though a certain other Hall of Famer might slightly disagree with that. Be that as it may, Austin was also one of the most popular WWE champions of all time. Part of that had to do with the thrill of watching him overcome all the obstacles that Vince McMahon and his cronies put in front of him. In short, Austin was at his best when chasing the title. As a result, he competed in each of his championship matches at WrestleMania as the challenger. Number 2. The Undertaker was the first WWE champion to be younger than the title itself. The title, now known as the WWE Championship, was established on April 25th, this writer's birthday, 1963. It was won by the original Nature Boy, Buddy Rogers, in a factional tournament in Rio de Janeiro, Brazil. Interestingly, this was the same location the company claimed the fictional tournament to crown the first Intercontinental Champion was held. There must be something about Rio. Survivor Series 1991 saw The Undertaker, the company's newest and scariest ever villain, defeat Hulk Hogan to win his first WWE Championship. Number 1. Brock Lesnar and Kurt Angle were the first WWE WrestleMania headliners to use their real names. WrestleMania 19 saw former NCAA heavyweight wrestling champion Brock Lesnar challenge for Olympic gold medalist Kurt Angle's WWE Championship. And like the headline says, it's the first main event in the history of the show of shows where both men were using their real names. In fact, this has been the only time, so far, where this has happened. It doesn't look like it's going to happen this year, either. Lesnar will be taking on Roman Reigns, aka Lethe Joseph Joe Anoa'i, on Night 2, while former Raw Women's Champion Ronda Rousey, her real name, will challenge for the SmackDown Women's Championship against Charlotte Flair, definitely not her real name, on Night 1.